But now, so work on this sneeze anyhow. Hi guys, how are you doing? Topic today is it's important that you check your spouse's phone. It is very important that you check your spouse's phone. A lot of you will disagree with that, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. It's quite important. And we're going to discuss why it's important. Okay? So, first of all, let me ask, what is your take? Should you or should you not? Should you or should you not? I'm going to give you the advantages and the disadvantage, just like in everything in life. There's advantage and there's disadvantage. I was talking to a billionaire. You know, when I wrote my article on watches being investment, I was talking to a billionaire who told me that he bought land in Banana Island for $4 million. The land appreciated in naira but did not appreciate in dollars. You see, many of you don't realize that the house I'm living in, for instance, is an example. When I bought it, the dollar value then, the house has tripled in its naira value, but it has not met its dollar value. If I had kept my dollars in the bank and lived in a rented house, I've been living here for about 5 years. No, I bought the house in about 2013. So that's about 10 years. If I'd lived in a rented house for 10 years and saved the dollar value in a bank, I would have bought my house now. Let me do the equivalent. Let me do the equivalent for you. I'm just trying to show you a big picture, what a big picture means. Divided by 165, that was the dollar rate then. Okay. Now, I remember where I was staying in 1004, my rent a year was about 4 million. So 4 million times 10 minus 40 million. I would have bought my house and still had 30 million naira change. I'm just giving you the equivalent. The house I live in, if you count back to when you bought your house, do the dollar equivalent of how much you paid for your house. Here's what I'm trying to let you realize, because you see, people don't like to see the big picture. Nigerians are stuck in thinking the way their parents thought. If the money I used to buy my house, then the dollar equivalent, then if I had taken it and saved it in the bank as dollars, I didn't use it to buy it, I just saved it as dollars and kept it in my dollar account and rented for the next 10 years, because I moved in about 10 years ago. Listen to this analogy. And moved in about 10 years ago. Sorry, I bought, instead of buying the house 10 years ago, I kept the money in dollars inside my account and paid rent for 10 years. If I converted the money today, I will buy my house, cover the money I spent on rent, and still have 30 to 40 million naira cash in my hand. Does anybody understand this analogy? You see, many of you think that because you buy land in naira for 300,000 and then you build a house with 8 million, and then 10 years later you sell the house for 35 million, you think you made profit. The problem is you always hedge on a failing currency. If I had bought, nobody understands. Nobody understands this. Nobody understands this. Now, if I had bought a house in the UK 10 years ago, my house today would have increased in value in the UK or the US. Now, depending also on the area. I'm just touching on this because of the whole watches to houses argument. When I bought my watch, it cost me about $45,000 in 2016. The watch today is about $60,000 now. Let's do the math. $60,000, I mean second hand, not brand new, second hand, after I've worn it since 2016. It needed servicing once. It cost me about $1,000. So let's say I spent 46K. Times dollar then was 100 and about 80K. It cost me about 8.2 million to buy the watch. 60K in today's economy. How much is dollar today? How much is 60K in dollars today? Times, how much is dollar today? About 800 roughly. 48 million. How many houses of 8 million in 2016 are worth 48 million today? Someone say 770, 750, 770. I just did at 800. Okay. Let me do at 770. 46.2 million. So my question is, how many houses that in 2016 were 8 million? Of course, there are some land, what is it called? Some good land, landed property, or not house, land. Maybe multiply by 4. So your 8 million naira house land will be worth about 20, 30, not 46 million. The problem, why I want to go down this route with you is not many people can understand the big picture. Anybody way buy house for Nigeria, then the argument, I'm sorry, I'm just addressing this before we go into our main topic, because a lot of people were bashing me. Oh, Daddy Freeze, when B Naira said he wears fake house, he wears fake watches, fake designers, and lives in original mansions, hedged against a good watch like a Patek Nautilus in 2016. A mansion will lose value. Of course, they can point gun to you and steal your Nautilus, but if you insured your Nautilus, if your Patek was insured, you might be able to get at least its value back. Be Lord, be Lord, be Lord. I'm sorry if I said be Naira. Be Lord, be Lord, be Lord, be Lord. And I mean this without any disrespect. I need you to understand that sometimes because your parents taught you something, or because, let me tell you something, now I must say, since I've lived in this house since 2017, I've had to spend about 12 million renovating the house this year, and I didn't do the whole house. So we did the kids' bedrooms, and Taste Buds did her kitchen. Um, I didn't spend the money. Taste Buds did most of it. You know, I just paid for the tiling in the children's rooms and one or two things. Taste Buds, always assist. So she did the renovation. I've not done my bedroom. My bedroom's a mess. It needs renovation. So if I now remove the 10 million, let's even say 10 million, there's no way you'd live in a house for 5 years and not do some level of work in that house. So if I had rented out the house, my estate houses go for about 5.5 million a year. If I had rented out the house for the last 5 years, let's imagine I didn't live there. And mind you, 5 years ago, house rent was about 3 million, 3.5. It's rising because everything else is rising. So just do this math yourself. So now let me do it with the watch. Imagine I had bought in 2012, when I bought this house. Imagine because I remember in 2013, I remember buying Daytona, my Rolex Daytona, the sports one on leather strap, for about 24K. Imagine I had bought my Rolex Daytona, now is worth about 50K. So the watch almost doubled in dollars. Let's imagine this. Instead of buying this house, I bought Rolex Daytonas and kept them in a safe and lived in a rented house for 10 years. Let me tell you, the house I was living in back then was worth about 4 million a year, so my rent would have been 40 million. Abi, the Rolex Daytonas doubled in value, so the money I spent on the house would have doubled. And Rolex Daytonas, you sell them like this. So this is what I would have made. I live in a rented house for 10 years and I invested in Rolex Daytonas. If you remove 40 million, which will have been my 10 years rent, and minus the value of this house, because I'll now be buying it this year, I'll have been left with 150 million naira. Now, someone said, house earns rent. What's the income arising capacity of your watches? That's the problem. You never see the big picture. You are not seeing the big picture. I calculated rent. Hold on, let's imagine I bought the house 10 years ago and put it up for rent, right? My house goes for 5 million. It wasn't going for 5 million there. At 5 million a year, I would have made 50 million. I'll still make 100 million profit. Because right now, living in a rented house, I made 150 million profit if I invested in the Rolexes. Which one is difficult to maintain, house or watch? Watch is easier to maintain. Every 5 years, you spend about, let's say, $2,000 maintaining a watch every 5 years. So I'll have done the first service and the watches will be due for the second service now. So calculate how much you are going to lose. To think. You guys are not thinking. You guys are not thinking. That's the problem. And let me tell you, yeah, if I had not followed my parents, if I had decided to take a step away from my and thought the way my brain was telling me, and because then when I was buying watches, I used to feel like, I should be buying landed property. I should be buying landed property. That's the way my sound of the voices of my parents echoing inside my head. If I had done what my spirit actually said I should do, I will now. It is now that I'll be buying the landed property. Now is when I'll be buying it, because I will have invested in. Let me tell you the watches they told me to come and buy. Burna Boy has one particular Richard Mille. It's called the Grosjean RM11 Lotus Team Lotus. They were begging me to buy that watch at $180,000. Today, secondhand, that watch is $550,000. Just imagine that instead of buying, my house was worth more than that then. So let me just imagine that instead of buy my house, I bought that watch, because the guy in the Dubai Richard Mille shop was begging me, said, buy this watch, sell some of your watches. This offer is not going to be available forever. These watches are not even available to the public. I'm just lucky to have a piece. I was looking at the guy like this. If I had bought that watch and lived in a rented house this year, I would have sold, bought my house, and probably bought a used Ferrari or a brand new G-Wagon. Maybe not a brand new G-Wagon, because G-Wagon will cost you about 300. Yeah, probably. No, maybe not a brand new G-Wagon, but a car of $200,000 landing, a very good car, maybe an S-Class. Now, you that you are saying house makes money in rent, you are thinking very small. You are thinking like, let me tell you, the people that make money in houses, those that develop, that's why they always come and tell you that house is amazing. The people that are selling watches to come and tell you that watch is amazing. The people selling cars to tell you that. Let me break your heart here. Let me break your heart. Let me break your heart. Let me break your heart. Forget watch. When I bought my Mercedes this year, a guy was telling me that Daddy Freeze, he was selling some of his properties a little less than I bought my car. The properties were going for about 90 million. And he was saying, Daddy Freeze, why will you spend so much money on buying a car that should have bought his property? I saw him yesterday. I said, do you know how much my car is worth today? How much is your property worth? The same 90 million. Do you know I will have bought my car, driven it for 6 months, and sold it and still made money, because my car is hedged to the dollar while the property is hedged to the naira. You guys don't understand this economics. I'm messing with you on a major level now. Those of you that are investing in Nigeria and investing in houses, it's good to have houses. It's good to landed property is good. I know someone who tripled his investment by buying land between COVID and now. Land. So don't get me wrong. Land is a good investment, but you have to understand it. If you don't understand it, you will lose money, because that same guy was telling me about how he bought land in Banana Island for $4 million. The land appreciated, but if he sold the land today, it would be less than that $4 million. Are we working together? You see, I remember making those statements way back then. There's always the risk of your watches getting stolen. Anything can happen. You can crash your car, your house can go up in flames. Popo Gari's house was demolished by the government. The whole of Magudu, as I'm talking to you now, there's police case from federal to state. The case in Magudu, beautiful place, expensive houses. The whole area is in contention. One day you might have a brutal administration. They'll come and just level everybody's house, and everybody be shouting. So invest in anything hedged to a dollar. Don't, you see, Your landed property in Naira is the value is determined by your government. When your government cannot take care of security issues, when your government cannot take care of investment issues, the value of property in Naira will continue to drop. So, yes, you are making money, but you're losing money. Is there anybody who's actually getting this? This. Two things I said. Instead of buying my house 10 years ago, if I had saved the money in dollars, the dollar equivalent, I just gone open the dollar account and kept the money in dollars. And I lived in a rented house for 10 years. It will have cost me 40 million naira to live in a rented house. Because every year I have to pay 4 million naira rent. That was my rent 10 years ago in 1004. It was about 3.5. Now it's about, so let's just say 4 million naira a year. If I now went to the bank today, withdrew my naira, my dollars as cash, and sold the dollars, I would have bought this house, covered up my 10 years rent of 40 million, and still have 30 million naira change. Do you get my analogy? Instead of buying my house 10 years ago, let's imagine I took the money, the naira equivalent, and bought dollars and saved in, at least Zenith Bank has not folded, that's my bank, and saved it in Zenith Bank and lived in a rented house. So sometimes when people come and say you don't have a house to your name, you live in a rented house, you don't know the dynamics of that guy's life. If I had lived in it, people would have yapped me, he doesn't own a house, he lives in a rented house. If I had removed the money and withdrawn it today, I'll have 30 million naira extra. Number two, if I hadn't bought the house and I had bought Rolex Daytonas, let's not talk about the RMs that went from 180 to 550. Let's just talk about the ones that doubled in value. Let's imagine I had bought Rolex Daytonas and kept in my safe. If I sold today, changed the money to dollar, all those watches are hedged in dollars, you will sell it to a dollar with a dollar value. All I need to do is one trip to the UK with 4 or 5 watches, or 2 trips, just in case I wear 2 watches, cross customs, nobody asks me any question. Or I go with my wife, we wear 2 watches each, cross customs. Or APs, you are not safe with don't buy Hublot, don't think, AP, Patek, some Rolexes, not all. I will buy my house, pay my 40 million 10 years rent, and still be left with 150 million naira change. So I will buy a brand new range this year and still have small change. Am I connecting with you? It's very difficult. What I'm selling to you is very difficult to understand. Because many of us have been sold a gospel of investment by our parents that could not manage a country. Your father was so brilliant with investing. Why are you still giving him money now? Someone said, buy a house. A home is essential to survival. A watch is not. I just explained to you that if I had bought the watch and lived in live in a home does not mean buy it. What happened to you renting a home? That's the mentality. If I just explained to you that, let's imagine I didn't buy watches. I took the dollar value of my money instead of buying a home and kept it in the bank and lived in a rented house. 10 years later, I will buy my house and still have 30 million naira, 30 to 50 million naira change. So explain the buying a house. Someone says you are saying houses depreciate. I am telling you what, I'm not telling you houses depreciate. I'm telling you what happened, and I live in a good part of Lekki. Your house depreciated without you knowing, because you are not smart enough to understand the microeconomics. Your house tripled in value in naira, but lost value in dollars. A house is essential to survival, but you don't have to buy it. I just told you, instead of buying my house, if I had rented for 10 years and I now came to buy my house, I will make 50 million profit at the new rate that it is being sold today, which is triple of what I bought it. Yes, my house is worth triple of what I bought it in 2013. But guess what? Dollar in 2013 was 175, 180. Today is 770. Times 3 of 180. 180 times 3 is 540. At 540 to a dollar, my house would have appreciated 3 times its value. At 770, the curve starts to diminish and the house starts to lose value because it is hedged on a failing currency. You can't see this. There's a special level of eye-opening you have to understand this. Just think of it. Think of the house you bought in 2013, 10 years ago, 2012, 2013. Now, do the math. If you bought your house, let's imagine your house was cost in 2013, let's say it cost 50 million naira. Let's do the math. So you spent 50 million naira on a house. Are you working with me? 50 million divided by 180 is $277,000. So let's say you bought your house for $277,000 in 2013, 2012. Now, let us save this $277,000 and not buy any house. Let's just keep the money in the bank and continue living in a rented house. For that same period, you'll have spent about 40 million on rent. Today, you now go to your bank. You didn't do it. Your money is just there in dollars, 277,000. You go to the bank and say, bank, give me my $277,000. They give it to you. You now multiply it by 770, which is today's exchange rate. You will get 213 million. Okay? Your 50 million naira house is worth 150 million naira today. It increased in value. If you remove your 150 million naira from this, you will be left with 63 million. Minus 40 million. You'll be left with about 23 million naira cash after renting for 10 years. Someone says bank will not give you. Who told you bank will not give you? So did your house appreciate or did it depreciate? I'm asking you, did your house appreciate or did it depreciate? It appreciated in naira, but naira is a valueless currency. Someone says, David Chibuzo says, I still value houses and landed property than these luxury items. Let me give you some examples here. This same watch I'm wearing, I wore it to the UK. I was in the UK with it. I mean, you go and check my videos in the UK. I was wearing it in the UK. Imagine I was there in the UK and war busted out in Nigeria. I will walk into a shop or a bank, get the watch valued, and either sell it or get a loan. The current going value in pounds is about 50k pounds. If I want to sell it now, I won't get 50k pounds. I'll probably get about 32k pounds. I can survive on 32k pounds for a year easily in the UK. Your landed property in Nigeria is worthless. There is war in Nigeria. Who wants to rent your house? Just think about it. Who wants to buy it in the UK? How do you sell your house in the UK? So nobody is telling you not to value land and houses. Drake for real says, "Oh, guy, you are not making any sense. It's not my fault that you are a product of a damaged robber. It's not my fault that stupidity is a dominant part of your DNA. It's not my fault that your Agberu father and your Baraga seller mother decided to use an uncompleted building as the place of your conception. Since you have decided that that's what your destiny is, let me give you rapture." I am not saying, you see, now you need to understand that even watches or jewelry are not safe. You can get robbed in traffic, you can lose your watch. Yes, I'm not making excuses for these things, but I'm just trying to let you know how unreliable. If I'd kept my money in Zenith Bank, I have a dollar account in Zenith Bank and I keep money there. So instead of buying the house, if I had kept it as money, I would have made more for the money just sitting down than I would have made buying a house. Someone said they even cut your hand, join. Now. Let me explain something to you. Yeah. You also need to understand this. I was hanging out. I have a 2020 Camaro convertible. I was with a friend of mine who drives a Ferrari, and somebody was making fun of him. We're there together. My Camaro is actually lower than the Ferrari. We measured it on that day, and the guy was like, "You are driving this low car. Can this car get to Ikorodu?" And when the guy left, we're laughing. Do you know, since I've come to this Lagos 30 years ago, 20 years ago, I came to Lagos in 2001. I've been to Ikorodu maybe 5 times. So how does my car get into Ikorodu? How does that determine the type of car I'm going to buy? I live in Lekki. I used to work in VI. The first time I took my Camaro to Ikoyi in 2 years since I've owned it was the day some of Pastor Toby's guys came to Ikoyi. That's the first time I drove it from Lekki to Ikoyi. My Wakano, they pass Eco Hotel, VI, Lekki, and our roads are reasonably good. Yes, once in a while it will still scratch the ground in Lekki, but it doesn't mean it's not motorable. Because you they stay Ikorodu, you they imagine say everybody else get business for Ikorodu. Some of us don't have business in even Surulere. Now, I want to stretch this a little. Um, I want to stretch this a little, yeah. Many of us that have nice cars that are low can afford to have more than one. So we always have one car that is a rugged car that we go to the Yaba, go to the Korodu. So, so think about it. Now, what you guys don't understand, and what oil companies have understood for a long time is, let me leave that point. One day I'll sit down now. So, I think I'm done with that topic. Let me move on to another topic. Somebody say Daddy Free is not criminal. He be hush puppy friends. How then do you think he makes his money? Now what for you? You stupid girl. I just hope for your sake that your parents did not gather anybody on the 8th day after you were born to do naming ceremony, because it will have been the greatest loss of funds that they could have done. Instead of doing naming ceremony for you, the goat where they use do your naming ceremony, nine therefore name, use you do their son. If for better, make I can't give you better blocking. Ashiri. Someone says many old people are living off the rents they receive from landed property. Let me ask you a question. Watches only make money at the point. You see, your brain is so tiny. You only think of the now, now, now. Let me tell you something here. Imagine I had this landed property, 5. Or I had money to buy 5 and I did not buy it. And I kept the money in dollars in the bank. And I sold the money today. I would have about 200 million naira profit. So whatever it is your father was making annually from rent, I will make more in 10 years from my money sitting somewhere. Old people make money from rent, and then they still beg their children for money. Think about it. If they could really live on rent, why would they still be asking their children for money? Think about it. That was your parents' formula. How well off are your parents today is a question. Now, can we flip the topic? Someone said, if you are not alive till then, Biko, let me explain to you. See, your brain is like fried egg that does not have salt. Because if there was salt, your brain would be delicious. But it is not delicious because there's no salt. It's like scrambled egg that they forgot to add salt. If you listen, imagine somebody, instead of buying the house, he put the money in dollars and lived in a rented house and lost his life. The money valued in dollars is still going to be there. And your children can still inherit it. As in, I don't understand how people are calculating this thing. do you people think? Nigeria has defrauded you by denying you access to logic. Someone says, Daddy Freeze, what do you do for a living? What you are seeing me do, this is what I do for a living. This that I'm doing is what I do for a living. Let me break your heart. I charge ₦1,000,000 for my interviews. I have interviews lined up that I don't have dates to give them. Lined up. You see them coming over the next few weeks. I'll be spreading them out. At what? I don't give discounts. The first thing I tell you, if you come to my Daddy Freeze, I will not give you discounts. That's one of the things I do. From my interviews alone, I probably make more than your entire family makes in a year. So, what do I do for a living? Are you asking again? You guys have no clue. Someone said Daddy Freeze now Yahoo, but okay. Now, the home interviews. My problem with the home interviews, a lot of people have replicated that formula. When I first started it, it was now only me they do them. Now there's what's this guy's name? Chude. There's Nedu's podcast. You understand? So right now, just rather do the interview on Instagram. By the time those ones set up table, I don't do the interview, I don't move on to the next thing. Of course, once in a while, I'm going to go back to that format. But yeah, someone said mine is different. Yes. Can you list names of watches someone can invest in? What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a wristwatch connoisseur and I'm going to allow them to give you a lecture on watches. It's not every watch that is an investment. You will lose half of the value of your money. You understand? Now, let's do this calculation. Let's imagine my house was worth 50 million naira in 2013. 50 million naira. So instead of buy 50 million naira in 2013 divided by 185, you'll be worth about $277,000. Okay. Now let's imagine I bought a watch that lost half of its value. Divided by 2, I'll have $138,000. At $138,000 times 770, I will still double what I bought my house. So if my house didn't triple, my house doubled, I will still manage and make more money than I made, because you now sell it for 106 million. I'll still manage and still make money with a watch that lost half its value. Understand that the watch is hedged in dollars. Your house is hedged in naira. Naira is not very worthy. Does not have much value now. Dollars do. Someone say, waiting this man they talk. We no understand now. You see, Akuri nie. Orieti daughter. That money they used to buy data, where you take the chart, if to say you feel use go buy those paddles where they use take, where they call them defibrillators, where they use take jack person we get a heart attack. If you put one here, use and take resuscitate your brain with electric shock. You know what they ask this kind of question where you ask? Your brain dey on life support as you dey like this. The graph for your, if you're to say your brain get heart, now so the graph will be. One blood no dey pump for your whole brain. It just dey. Your brain dey state of dormancy. Your brain, they hibernate. Come, I want to go block people for Facebook. We like say people will no get sense. Now Facebook, they fool. I just they remove anybody we talk nonsense now. I no go even answer you. I go just rapture you down really. Cause she jaw. Make I go my page. Go see what they talk. This boss go soon come call me. Somebody bought stars for me. Please come to Facebook and buy stars. Thank you so much. I go hail you, Taya. Make I hail the people they buy my stars. Irene Adekpoju. Thank you so much. The only person that has bought me stars today. The rest of you are just enjoying the live. You are not buying stars. I want to see anybody that's talking nonsense. Someone says on Facebook, what if the dollar crash? If the dollar crash, the naira go crash. It's like when Bitcoin crash, Ethereum go crash, join them. When Bitcoin go up, Ethereum go up. Well, Nadi, make una talk now. Make I feel block person too for Facebook. Anyway, how do I buy stars? Just go to Facebook, your Facebook page, top right hand corner, type Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. My page will show. You will see this video. Click on the video and buy stars to support me. Rup. Someone say Saudi is trying to move away from dollar. You need to understand that America is not run by the likes of APC and PDP or PDAPC. America is run by geniuses. Dollar crashes against some currency. Naira is not among the, you see, my brother, why do you like to create argument inside argument? Your house, did you buy the house in Saudi Arabia? I say buy house in Nigeria against dollar. You are saying other currency. Who mentioned? We are talking about Nigeria. Who did this thing to you people? So right now, I want us to talk about our topic. Every commodity is priced in dollar. I think they don't even understand. I don't know where you people fell from. Just like your parents no get sense. No be say they cost you. All of our parents no get sense. They no get. If they get, our country no go be like this. They sweated the small things. EB's Love Haven. How are you doing? I was also inviting Nkem. Nkem, better join my live now. How are you doing? This one that you tied your head up.
I'm doing Riaza with my hair.
Hey.
I've been enjoying you since, so.
Don't mind me, oh. I'm not giving financial investment. Don't listen to me, oh.
Powerful investment for Nigeria. Don't they pay me like say for not even use and buy wristwatch? I'm telling you.
Even if you no buy wristwatch, if you keep your money for, this is the same argument I had with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law will tell you that land is good. I sat down with her one day. I said, Mommy, this house and this land that you bought at this time, can we calculate the dollar value? If you kept that money in the bank, can we calculate the value today against the land?
Mm.
If you sit down and look at these parameters, you will understand that our parents invested in a country that is not successfully run. It's not running, so
Exactly.
it's like motorway they misfire. You
Mm.
understand?
Yeah.
We are struggling with running the economics of this country.
True. I agree.
Where you live in Canada, it's good to buy a house. You
Man,
understand?
I'm telling you, at least, yeah.
It's good to buy a house abroad. Now, another thing that people don't understand is mansion is not an invest. Is not an investment though.
It's not an investment. Yeah.
Instead of building one mansion, you are better off building a block of 6 flats.
Flat, 7 flat, 8 flat, they generate money.
That one will generate past that mansion. Now, when you build a mansion, just know that the furniture you put there 10 years ago is useless today. Oh. Unless you go and buy classic Victorian furniture. Say you buy 10 years ago furniture with the rain. Today,
Daddy, please come on, forget that classic Victoria for everything. I dey remember what I get for house now. You don't get value again.
aside,
Wetin
so
I
so
buy
the
before
whole
I
furnishing
finish.
for the house don't go.
Yeah, it's true.
Someone said my papa get 5 bedroom for Ikoyi. That's now an investment. 5 bedroom in Ikoyi. Because when you look at luxury property, Ikoyi house be like watch. It no be like Ikorodu house. So Ikoyi house can still be hedged on a dollar.
It's anyhow.
You
Yeah,
can still
true,
hedge an Ikoyi house to a dollar value. You can hedge a
true.
Banana Island house to a dollar value. You cannot hedge Surulere house for dollar value.
Wishing.
You cannot hedge Mowe house for dollar value. You cannot hedge Meron house for dollar value or Ibadan house. You go price out for dollars. Now conk, they go conk you. So understand the dynamics of that. It will help. What am I trying to teach you today is all of you tying your investments in this country, thinking you are wise. I clap for all of you. Mansion no be investment to, especially mansion where you live inside. Come, you think living in a house is free of charge? Let me tell you, just for
Maintenance,
living in
my
my
guy.
house, I still have to pay 300K a month for electricity, 50K a month for service charge. That's 350 a month. Let's do 350 times 12. That's 4.2 million. Then every year we still have to pay 250,000 development levy. Then we still have to pay land
Wow.
use charge. So we are looking at about 5 million a year
For
to live
maintenance.
inside the house.
Daddy, freeze the whole bow.
No be say I hold bar. My neighbor will move come out for here, move go Lekki. I know how much them they pay. Someone say mansion is home. Do you know my house is 4 bedroom? To keep it clean is work. We've said that okay, the children are old. We don't want to have house girl. We've started getting somebody that comes to sweep every weekend now and clean the whole house. We can't even. You won't come maintain 8 bedroom house
It's a lot.
with 2 sitting rooms. You go run mad. No be 5 million. You go use the maintain them every year. You go pass die. Some people just think that they live inside a house. They don't win jackpot. You only make money in your house when you sell it, or in some instances when you rent it. Now, when you use your house for Airbnb,
That's a good word
then
too.
your house is now an investment. How many
Definitely.
mansions you see for Airbnb? Now still flat that they use for choice area. So you will make a lot of money for Airbnb if you can use your house as Airbnb. Someone says, I don't like big house because I have no energy for cleaning. I swear I'm like that.
A part of cleaning that the
My
freeze.
house, as far as I'm
Come on.
concerned, is too big. I think it was my mom called me the other day and said, don't you think you have to get a bigger house? I said, please, that's the mentality you and my father had. I'm not interested in getting a bigger house. I'm interested in living a good quality life.
Life.
Do you understand? I want to be able to go to the airport and fly business class and sit
Yeah.
down in the lounge with my family. I don't want to have a big, what do I want to do with a bigger house? If I want to buy a bigger house, I will have to right now, need at least 300 million. What value am I going to get from that 300 million? Okay, I live in a bigger house. Please, let me live
But
in my,
each bedroom is big though, that the freeze. Even the one where you did, so it's still
my the
big.
one I live in is a 4 bedroom. It's
Oh, okay.
small because my sitting room upstairs is very small. We have an in average size sitting room downstairs, but a very small one upstairs. So I understand getting a bigger house, but I don't understand why it is a priority. That's where I don't understand because um, I know one of my uncles is always building one project to the other. When you see him, his shoe is always bent to one side. In
That
motor
kind of
AC,
life
no,
can
they
be
ever
empty.
walk. You understand? Now, let me tell you now the sad thing. When he died, in 6 months, the children had sold all the property. Today,
Wow.
the children are
Sad.
broke, begging us for money.
Wow.
So the
That's
father did
sad.
not live a good quality life. He was wearing shoe that bent to one side and building property. He had a lot of property. The children sold all. They sold everything that their hand could touch. The ones that were abroad came home, sold, shared, went abroad, squandered the money. The
Abroad is
ones living locally, one bought his girlfriend a car, opened shop for his girlfriend's mother. The girlfriend don't carry belly for another person. Now the matter where they settle now with that, because the money
sharp care.
finish. What kind of Rolex are good for investment? Stainless steel, not gold. Stainless steel. Daytona, very good. If you are looking for just $11,000, invest in a Rolex Daytona. If you can't get a Daytona, try to get a Submariner. There are always waiting lists. They are good investments. If you can't get a Submariner, get a GMT Master. Just write those names now. Submariner, GMT Master, Daytona, not gold, stainless steel. Very important. Okay, so
And the second too. Okay.
let's go to today's topic. And Kem, I've been sending you message. Why are you not joining my live? I need your intellect here today. I need your intellect here today. Someone said, Daddy Freeze, I saw a Daytona for 25K. It is what 11K, but because you have to wait 2 years to get it, the day you get it, you can sell it for 25K. You can double the money the day you get it, and you don't have to pay until the day you get it. So it's not like you are tying your money down.
See the one I'm checking.
That's gold.
Okay.
That's gold. Check thing. Like you can see, it's expensive. It's $85,000, and the value in gold is coming down a bit. Right now, what I'll advise you to do is I need to bring somebody that actually understands. I need to invite someone who understands watches as an investment, not what I want to wear fine watch with diamonds.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So the topic I really want to talk about, where is Nkemo? She's so cute. She is so cute. Nkem, come and join my live. In fact, let me look for your phone number. Let me call you WhatsApp. So let's talk about this.
No, no, I don't want. Daddy freeze. Oh.
Hmm?
It is important that your partner.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about. Do you check your husband's phone?
I check it once in a while. But
Paul, listen,
there's no.
Paul GCO, sorry to cut you, darling. He said, watch they fade though. When you they buy baroof, how you no go fade? I tell you, say they use gold, do something. They use stainless steel, do. Rolex uses 9-1. I've forgotten the configuration of stainless steel. It will never fade. Eh? Your house will fade first before that Rolex fades. So, Nkem, where are you, Nkem?
Okay, mo, okay, mo, okay, mo.
Nkem, I'm calling you now. So, tell me, do you check your husband's phone? And do you think it's okay for your husband to check your phones? Your phone?
You can check. Matter of fact, I did my room as I talk to you. My password, some cogent things they on my wall as I talk to you. I can even make a no show a password. Like I have my password on the wall. I have everything on the wall. If anything happens to me tomorrow and they want to access everything that I have, how are they going to access it? Like even me, I'm too frustrated with my kids, right? God forbid they need to make a call. They need to do something when nobody is around. I go just go there, go check out. They have all of those things. People need to understand that someone who has nothing to hide will not be hiding anything. So as far as you're hiding something, then you have something to hide. You know, these investments that we are doing here and there. I can't remember when I was doing my this crypto investment. I can't remember them asking me for next of kin, right? So if anything happens to me tomorrow and my phone is passworded, everything is passworded, how are they going to access the money? How are they going to get it? I don't know, like Danny Freeze, maybe you're not even the right person to talk about this topic because your own phone, everything they open. This box he open up anytime when she want. Check what she want check. But I don't know why people are hiding their. I don't know what that is. If you're not comfortable with your partner, if you're not safe with your partner, it's even better for you guys not to be together.
Come live.
Hey sis, how you doing?
Hi.
So a man or a woman who has nothing to hide
Walking
will
where?
not be hiding anything. And you know, it doesn't
It
necessarily
doesn't matter.
have to
Come
be
live
cheating.
now. That's
Sometimes
why
it's
I've
not
been
even
sending you message,
cheating.
be rejecting.
You
We are
know,
come
the
live.
moment you start hiding your phone, you're automatically telling me to worry about something. Then something is wrong. Then I need to go after it. Then you are sowing a seed.
Where is your husband at this
You're gonna
time
go
of the
after your
night?
phone. But if your phone is everywhere, you know, lingering around the house, you're not in a
Hey.
secret call. There is
Oh
nothing to
yeah, oh
worry.
yeah.
Nothing
I'll
will
call you
trigger
later.
that. You understand what I'm saying? So as long as you are hiding it, you're being overprotective of your phone. You are telling me that I should be suspicious. You're telling me to go look for something. People need to understand that there is difference between secrecy and privacy in marriage. Privacy is allowed in marriage. Sometimes you just want to be alone. Sometimes you just want to be in the room alone, do some stuff, and you need some privacy, you need some space. But secrecy is not allowed in a marriage. If you're not safe with your partner, it is better you let them go. Sharing is caring in marriage. That's what people need to understand. I don't know. This topic.
My sister, let me even tell you something. Let me be very honest with you. Me, I don't even believe in privacy inside marriage, Seth. What was that thing that you have? I'm taking it a notch higher. From the day people got married, the Bible said two become one. You only read Bible when your pastor wants to milk you of your hard-earned income. The Bible says two become one. Of course, there are times that Tazebos wants to work on her phone. I just give her space, you know, or like now I'm walking, she's talking to one of the kids who is in school in the sitting room. You understand? I can hear her voice. If you strain your ears where you hear her in the background, you know, she's there talking. Me, I'm here doing my live video. You understand? But there is no conversation she has that she cannot have in front. If Tastebuds gets up to go and answer a call outside, it's probably because she's going to shout on the phone and that shouting will affect me. I don't get up to go and answer any call. There's none of you, you or me, there's none of you that I don't call when Tastebuds is around. You understand? I don't have anything with anybody that I believe is too much for taste buds to hear. And I don't believe she's even worse than me. She's more open than me. The children, I'm sure the children know her password. She's very carefree with things like that. And I mean, they even, if I want to open my safe, I tell children, me they come out their eye. I know if you shout. You understand? I know if you shout.
Yeah.
She
But
on the
for my
other.
profession, Daddy Freeze, there are some things where we say if you're not telling me to tell my husband or for any reason, I don't have to tell him because this is what it's people's stories, right? It's people's privacy. So maybe that one is different from what you're saying right now.
No, me, there's nothing. That's why me and Taste Buds run the church together. Somebody say, hey, Daddy Freeze is anointing and calling now sexually transmitted. I say, yes, it is. It's a sexually transmitted infection. Once God call you, automatically don't call your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Just know. Because if you not run the ministry with your wife, you go give choir gebele. Single girls, full free nation, way fine. Oh, you suppose attend our church service for London. You go see fine young girls, fine married women. Let me tell you something. Young girls or married women all are vulnerable. Because when you start talking to your pastor, you start confiding in your pastor. One day rain will fall and catch you and your pastor alone. They go bring out sausage and go begin to play with the sausage. And before you know it, I they tell you these things. Make una know they got I they tell you these things and I know they like hear word. So just know that I don't share, like for instance, if Bukola calls me and talks to me privately, I will not tell Remy. I will not disclose her matter with Remy. Or vice versa. If Remy calls me and tells me her matter privately, I will not tell Bukola or anybody else, but Taste Buds will know about it. Now, if perchance Taste Buds is in her kitchen working or sorting out her business when you are telling me, and nothing, I don't now need to sit down with Taste Buds and recount my whole day. At 8 o'clock, Remy called me. She told me this, she told me this, she told me this. At 8:15, Bukola called me. She told me this, she told me this, she told me this. At 8:30, Ada Blessing now called me. She told me this, she told me this, she told me this. At 8:41, no. So in that instance, I might not disclose what your issue is to Taste Buds unless your issue was so great that I had to sit down and say, oh, come, babe, come and hear matter. Remy called me today. Say she sleep with ghost. Say when she can't sleep with the ghost finish, she miss her period. Ha, this matter is a serious matter. Do you understand? So unless your matter is that deep that actually requires me to sit down and analyze, it's not necessary that I disclose unless she says, you were talking to Remy for an hour. What were you people talking about? Then and I say, I see me see trouble. Remy go carry belle for ghost to. That is, you know. So our parents now listen to this, Paul GCO. Our parents' marriages lasted longer because there were no smartphone. Don't you ever in your life use your parents' marriage as a yardstick. Your parents suffered in marriage. 95% of Nigerian parents, I cannot endure what my father or mother endured in marriage. Especially my mother, I cannot endure it. Nigerian parents, now marriage with that one, God forbid, I don't know if you follow them do am. Why una like to they give credit to nonsense? Una go carry something you fit marry the way that they marry those days. I'm asking, let me ask you, Remy, can you marry your dad?
Yes, I can. My father was He was a fantastic person.
Okay, can you marry, if you're a man, can you marry your mom?
No, 100%. No.
So you see,
No.
your parents' marriage was dependent on the fact that your dad was gentle.
Yeah.
Am I making sense to you?
Yeah.
Now, someone like me that is not gentle, because I had that problem with my ex. My ex was not gentle. Taste buds is more gentle. She get her own way, but she did calmer than my ex. And what taste buds does not like is you forcing her to do anything. Explain it to her, whine her, beg her, she will listen. But don't force her. Don't tell her you must do this. That's where fight. She's too stubborn. So if you want to get her to do something, discuss, negotiate, that works. My ex, on the other hand, was totally different. She was more fire. And because she lost her dad at a very young age, she was looking for a father figure. And she kept comparing me to her dad. And I kept telling her that, Auntie, I am not your father. I don't want to be your father. I am me. You understand? You have daddy issues. I am not your daddy. I am somebody you got married to who has his own issues. So she always used to tell me, do you know I'm attracted to older men? Imagine you date inside marriage with a person and the person would tell you, say, they're attracted to older men. How will you feel as a person? Mistakeness. There be me of life.
That marriage was toxic, Daddy Face, because she constantly put you down.
Yeah. I also think I put her down too. You see, thinking about it, we put each other down. And it started with the fact that I don't know who put who down more or who put down first. It was very toxic. Very, very toxic. Now, she told me, I found her attractive in the university. She had a pretty-ish face-ish. Her nose was a bit big, but her face was okay. Her body was okay, and she was very busty. So with that almost lekba, thick, slim, busty, and pretty-ish face, she looked good when we're students. Now, she used to tell me something. She used to tell me that her definition for me was, this is how she told me about my looks, that I should know that she can't date an ugly guy. She never told me I was good looking. She never told me I admire. Taste buds could just look me some days and say, but you fine, no. Me, I would suspect myself. I never experienced that with her. It was always, you are manageable. Then she'll come and tell me how her friend, let me give you an instance. She had this friend called Patience, who is divorced too, by the way. That story for another day. Came to my house one day, where young couple, maybe 1 year into the marriage, and looked through our old pictures. She said, you used to be so beautiful, and your boyfriend and your husband was not handsome. And then she came to tell me that, this is what Patience said. I said, and I looked at it like this, It was off for me. Now, it started like that. Maybe I wasn't so good looking in the university. I was skinny, normal omo boy, hustling. We now got into the marriage after 2 kids. She now added weight. So that slim tick now was no longer slim tick. Now, some women are curvy. A curvy woman. There was one girl me and Taste Buds were talking about today. The girl was thick, as in thick belly, thick nyash, thick thigh, but she was fine because the thickness was proportional. Now, my ex, on the other hand, she was more up than down. So when she added weight, she now lost that slim thick. So that beauty that I used to look up to when we're in university was now no longer there. So you don't find me attractive, or she never looked at me in that way. I've seen women look at me and I feel, you can tell when somebody's admiring you. You understand? Guy and girl, all of you, as a woman, you can tell when a guy looks you and is admiring you. You can tell when a guy is looking at you and wants to eat you like shawarma. You know that one just wants to catch you and turn you around and just give you. You know that that's a look. Then you know the look of, wow, fine girl. I never got that in my marriage. That look of admiration. Oh, he's a good looking guy. You understand? And then I probably used to give her that look when we were in university, you know. But then we now got married, had 2 kids, and then she wasn't my spec when we were in university. But because she was close to it, it was fine. But then when we got married, she too now was no longer the fine-ish girl that I liked. So we got to a juncture where 2 people who are not attracted to each other are stuck in a marriage. Maybe if she had now been attracted to me in the marriage and she had said, oh man, you are so handsome, maybe that would have just, warmed me. But I was like, I'm not fine to you, your friend, you gather. And if you see these are friends that say I'm not fine, if you see them,
I'm sure they've had that discussion between themselves. Do you know what I mean?
You understand? So what am I trying to say here in essence is, we're not attracted to each other. And when there's no spark, no attraction, with taste buds on the other hand, taste buds says it at least once or twice a week. Let me tell you, I am at the least attractive stage of my life now. See my hair everywhere, don't fall. I have wrinkles.
Yes, you're fine now. You've always
Do you understand?
been fine. Don't mind your
I
ex now.
have wrinkles. I know, but you see, inside like this, then sometimes this boss make statements like, I wish I knew you 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I can imagine how fine you were then. I'll now sit down and think the person I was with then. Nobody will what she said I will war. Sometimes she won't say I will war. She'll just go out. And when she was in NYSC, there was one guy, one half-caste actor. As in, my ex would come and tell me how fine the guy was. I used to be looking at her like this. She used to say it innocently. So I'm not saying now that she was cheating on me with him. I'm not going to go into the whole cheating aspect. But she will say it innocently that, I've forgotten that guy's name, one half-caste actor then. That he's so fine, that and she will be going on and on about him. And I used to look at her like this.
Ramsey Noah.
Not Ramsey Noah. The guy never blew. It was coming up then he just didn't blow. It was either a model or an actor. It wasn't Ramsey. It wasn't Van Vika. You understand? She will make those comments. Me too.
Man, thank God you left that marriage, because DF, she would have messed you up really good. That marriage would have messed you up. It was a good thing you left.
So you need to be in a place where people find you attractive, where you find yourself, or you find the person you're with attractive. It's very important. Now, you need to understand attractive. You might not be my spec, but you might be somebody else's spec. You understand? You might not be my spec, but you might be somebody else's spec. So when I was with my ex, a lot of people found her attractive. I used to marvel. You understand? One of my guys said, oh, your wife is so cute. I just look at him as,
really?
You understand? I found her attractive and cute in the university. The moment she started having children, it didn't work for me visually. as a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she had been of a different temperament, maybe it might have worked. Maybe I might have said, you know what, she loves me a lot, she finds me attractive, but she too now no find me attractive. So it's like I don't see you as fine, you don't see me as fine. And I worked in an industry where I found many women attractive too. So I'm sure as she dey talk about her own mixed race actor, we fine. Me too, I go dey talk about plenty girls where even church then. And then they were my friends. I used to have very fine girls. As in girls that are facially, skinnerly, curvically, heightically, fine. As in they tick all the boxes.
Mm.
So there was even one of my neighbors then. At a point, I was suspecting that he had an affair with her. We're able to go through that. She did something one day. She misbehaved. One of those her misbehaved. She said, why should they do like this with all her fineness? I look, I'm like this. So later on in life, I now thought he had an affair with her because he found her attractive. But you understand where I'm trying. How did we even get here? Because the real topic that we're talking about is phone. How did we get into this? Somebody, I think the Ibis Love Haven said something. Anyway, taste buds on the other hand is my spec. Tall, curvy, pretty face, long legs, thick legs.
Can cook, sweet.
My spec. You understand? My
Mm-hmm.
spec. I like woman with tall and fine. Do you understand? I don't care about she can be fair and she can be dark and she can be black and she can be yellow. You know, fair is different from yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Dark is different from black. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not really a color person. As Lupita Black, the wait I don't like about Lupita na her eye. Her eyes are too
Mm.
bloodshot. When she was growing up, she suffered too much for that African country. Wherever she, that's the only thing. And her face not too fine. That Lupita color, I don't mind them. Somebody said that
Mm.
freeze, you are sexualizing women. Keep quiet. Don't you talk about men with six pack and flat tummy?
Mm-hmm. And something big black.
Don't mind them. Don't even mind them. They don't have listen. I have a preference in women, just like you have a
Mm-hmm.
preference in men. Why are you not dating a
Amen.
Why are you not dating a
Mm-hmm.
pot-bellied
I feel.
man? Why?
Which man don't like woman? Somebody said you like women. Tell me which man that
Which
doesn't
man don't
like
like
women.
woman?
Then he likes something else if he doesn't
Ah,
like women.
so I've realized that that's my spec. I like a thick, tall, fine girl, and taste buds ticked all. So I'm with someone who I find attractive and finds me attractive. Win-win, you.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not frustrated because sometimes you are with someone and you could look outside and say, "Oh, why did I marry her?" That thing happened to me with my ex. I met one girl like 5 years into the marriage, and I said, what if I had waited 5 years and not married? Now this girl are for marry you. Do you understand? See how she said every time she can't like me. Hey God. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a point. Anyway, back to our topic.
Yeah,
What
I think, DF, it is important to check. It is
do
important
you
to check
check?
your partner's phone, right? But the thing is, if you shouldn't be in a relationship that where you do not trust your partner. If you do not trust your partner, then do not.
I
You
want to
don't have
say
to be in that.
something about trust. I want to say something about trust.
Mm-hmm.
When I first met Tastebot, the level of trust I have for her today is not the level of trust I had 3 years ago. It's not the level of trust I had 5 years ago. You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm telling you? The level of trust I have today is watching um her over the last 5 years and seeing her, the trust has grown. Yes, 6 years ago, sometimes I used to go and check her phone to actually see what she was up to. You understand what I'm telling you?
Right.
Over the years, those things relax when you see that the person is trustworthy. It is stupid to follow Oyinbo people that tell me, I met you 2 weeks ago, you say you don't trust me. But Moti Moyaeri, where do I know your mother from that I want to trust you? Not be 2 weeks ago, me and you jam. That 2 weeks ago, if I ask you waiting your body count, like Miss Debbie will come and say, it's only 4, and out of those 4,
It's -0, please.
out of those 4, the first 2 guys, they did it by force. I didn't agree. Then 1 year into the marriage, I go through her phone and like 3 different guys. I say, man, oh, you are dating Daddy Freeze now. Kai. I remember how I used to tap that thing and she'll now respond and laugh. Hey. So how do you expect me to trust? You see, don't ever enter a relationship trusting. It's stupidity. Trust is earned. Love is not earned. Love can be instant. Trust cannot be instant. Don't be stupid. You don't know.
Trust,
don't.
I can trust 100%.
Don't. Learn this thing from me. Learn it now. Don't trust. Buy. People should it's like when you go to a supermarket, they have these cards they have in supermarkets. I don't know if they do it in Germany, Debbie. Loyalty cards, kind of stuff. Like the supermarket down from my house. Anytime I go, I make a purchase. They ask me for my phone number. They enter it. I get some credits. Then.
Oh yeah, we have those credits.
Yeah. Then. Yeah. I remember one day I walked into a store. I was doing an event in Enugu and I had no cash. And someone was supposed to transfer money to my ATM and the person was delaying, so there was no money on my ATM. And I walked into the store and I wanted to buy Coke and biscuit. And the money I had was not enough. And I was about to start begging that, look guys, I don't know, I'm hungry. Do you understand? I was at the point. Then my spirit just said, come, you have this supermarket in Lagos? They said, yes. Now I check, I had like 6,000 naira loyalty. Oh boy, now biscuit and Coke, I won't enter. Point to meat pie, point to egg roll. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now that loyalty was built over several years of patronage. That's the same thing with trust. You build it. I don't start shopping in a supermarket and then they give me a 6,000 naira loyalty card. No, it's called a loyalty card for a reason. They want you to shop with them instead of shopping elsewhere to build your loyalty. Loyalty is built when, let's imagine Tinubu like now gets up and wants to choose somebody and say, okay, this is the person. You will know that he will have tested that person with 5 million, tested that person with 5 billion. I don't know if you understand what I'm telling you. When over a 10-year period they see that person is loyal, then you can now say that person is trustworthy or loyal. Even in that, some people go still for your hand. You know, see one bros we try drag primary with them. Meanwhile, now in boy, you now put away in the. I don't want to mention anybody's name, but you understand what I'm talking about. So even sometimes when you base your trust on reputation over the years, you can still be heartbroken. My cousin used to say something. Debbie, you have a heart, Abby. Remy, you have a heart. Can you tell me the day your heart will fail?
Sorry?
Can you tell me the day your heart will fail?
No.
So heart wey dey inside your own body, you know if you vouch for am, you won't vouch for a totally different entity. Never do it. Don't distrust. You see, there is a level of this. What's wrong? Is it my network that is bad?
No.
Can you guys see me clearly?
Yeah, we can see clearly. We can hear clearly.
Okay, because you guys are breaking a bit. Let me use another account to view myself. Okay, I can see you guys quite clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to trust, build your trust. If you have issues, it might be that there actually are issues. That's my opinion. All right, over to you, Debbie. Then Remy, then our gentleman here, so we can round off.
Go back to me, that
Tell me, do you check your boyfriend's phone, and will you want him to check your phone?
I do not check phone, no, please.
Why?
I don't want to. I'm too young. Please, this my heart is very fragile. Because I know that if I'm looking for something, I shall find what I'm looking for. So make I just look at them. I don't like stress.
Remy, you come.
DF, me, and see, once I say yes to you, it means I trust you 100%, right?
Where do they see these kind of children from?
I'm just wired that way to trust people, right? I'll trust you until you do something to me that will then make me not to. My own phone, I can leave my phone anywhere. Even my friend, if you're my friend and we are close together, we are close, right? You can go through my phone because obviously I would have told you practically everything about me as much as I can. So, and then I won't, if I'm in a relationship with someone or married, I won't want to go to your phone to check to know what you're doing. But then I want to have access to your phone. I should have access to your phone. And you will definitely have access to mine. But I won't be checking to see what you've been up to. You know, by idea.
Hold on.
I just find it tedious.
Hold on. Did you people not read the story of the Uber driver that drove his girlfriend to motor park on a Friday, only for him to see that she was getting married on a Sunday? That can never happen to me. It's impossible. Because I will check, I will double check. Do you understand? If the guy was checking her phone, he will not be. Ingo don't know, say this girl no be good girl. Let me tell you, I dated a girl once. The girl told me that she was a private jet air hostess. Those girls that work on private jets. Baba, until I begin to check. As in, this girl will just call me now, say they are going on a flight to Ghana. She go switch off her phone. It didn't no add up. She had a lot of money and she used to spend money on me. The thing no add up. You understand? One day I just begin the check up on her. We had a fight. She now traveled. That's how I met one of her cousins. I now sat the cousin. I entered the cousin's head. The cousin come begin to drop some things. We no pure. Let me give you an example. The cousin was, the girl was 30. She told me she was 25. So the cousin, I now asked the cousin now said, she's 31. That she that is younger than her is 30. So one day, me, where be CIA, FBI, I was driving with them in the car. She sat down beside me. The cousin was at the back. So we're driving. So I just asked the cousin. I said, I don't want to mention the girl's name. Let's just say the girl's name was Remy. I said, I'm just saying. I said, come.
Oh, no, I was kidding. It's all right.
I said, come. Remy is 1 year older than you, Abi. She said, yes. I said, are you sure? She said, yes. I said, so how old are you? She said, 30. I now looked at my babe that is 25. I said, how come you are not?
Yay.
I just catch him. So, well, I don't, they catch him. You understand? The girl will go and sleep with a guy, tell me that she was flying private jet. you know, then, you know what I used to catch him? Twitter. Twitter get location. I can't know the whole location of her house. She told me she was dating one guy, told me where the guy was staying. You understand? Omo, I would just send them DM for Twitter. When she respond, her location will show. I mean, send the location for her phone. She don't know. Baba, I stalked this girl. Within 6 months, I found out her whole life history. She go dey her boyfriend house. She go tell me say she dey Surulere, me where I dey track am. And as I be do am, I just said, are you really in Surulere? Oh wow, I'm sending something to you. There's somebody at your gate. He wants to deliver food. Please, I need you to go and sign because it is in your name. Go begin enter. I catch him.
But yes, you know what? You see, with me, right?
Yes.
I take my time before saying yes to a person.
You can't know. You can't.
Well, I don't know.
If you like take 5 years, you can't know.
You can never know.
You know what? I don't just have energy to be.
You have to have the energy.
Find out that you're cheating or that you're. That's the end, though. But then I'll be checking your phone every second, every minute.
You have to. Then you see, if you are checking it every minute, then it will reduce to as the person is getting trustworthy, it will reduce to every hour, then every day, then every week, then once a month, then once in 6 months. I cannot. I don't think I've checked Tastebud's phone in the last 1 year on to say, they look for something. Let me even see. Maybe even 2 years, Seth. Say I'm actually going through her phone looking for something hidden. Not in the last 2 years. But there was a time. There's a
software you can put on your partner's phone, right?
Somebody say Remy too soft. Remy, you too soft. All right, let me take this gentleman. What's your take, sir? Eh?
He said the house of God. I'm going to talk, sir.
Good day, nice to meet you. This is my first time coming live here.
Oh, thank you, bro.
So I love to know.
You love to
do? You
do?
check phone or you don't check?
Okay, you need microphone.
Make una leave the guy. The guy is a nice guy. Stop harassing the guy. Thank you, my dear brother. Let me bring somebody else. I want to bring somebody else. J Billions, God bless you.
But yes, see, sometimes I check. I have actually been in a situation like that before, where I will sit down and check very well.
You get one girl where they watch me live. There's one girl that's watching me live. She went to clone her boyfriend's WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Waiting, she see there. She never recovered it today. I'm not gonna mention the girl name, but she know herself. She cloned his WhatsApp. She wanted to run mad.
I don't see plenty before. But you know what I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to watch detective movies, I watch. So what I do is, I'll read all of them and pretend like I didn't see anything. Only me will turn my back and cry and sleep, but I'll pretend like I didn't see anything. So let's say, for instance, let's say I'm dating somebody called Jack, and then I've been through his phone, and then, hello, Samaria.
Hi,
and then I've seen, and then Jack has a date with a babe, with a side chick. And so I'll pretend like I didn't see. So let's say, then Jack now says, he's going to work, and I say, how far? After work, do you have any plans? Are you going anywhere? And he says, no. That's where the drama starts. For me, it's not about the act of sleeping with another person, but rather the drama, the whole drama, the deceit and everything. So I'll be watching you. Hey, so you mean you're not... So after work, you're not going anywhere else. No, I have a meeting with my boss. I'm just going to be at work. Oh my God, my boss can be so mean and cruel. I say, yeah, Pele. Okay. Hey, God is your strength. All right, so so my own is I'll just be watching you. Just continue. Maybe months after.
Hey.
Me, no. I'll just you know what I'll do, right? I'll just give you that chance to like confess. I can ask you again and say, yeah, so you did you go to one hotel called blah blah blah? You say no, are you sorry? It's not you, it was another person that told me, hey, you said you were in a meeting. Okay, well done. Maybe a month after I can then bring it up and say you can lie.
This will the person a month after.
Wait, see, I was with this person, right? And I checked his ex-girlfriend called him. Well, according to him, she was his ex. And then she said, she rang him. I think she had just returned from the UK. Rang him, and if you see the speed, the way he dressed up and ran to go and meet her, he didn't know that I heard the conversation. Yeah, and I saw the text. So he told me, he said, oh, I'm going to see my uncle. I said, yeah, greet him for me. I knew where he was going to, but I didn't say anything. I said, greet him for me. He said, I know Wala. He went there and came back late into the night, brought chocolates that she gave to him and told me to eat the chocolate. I said, I didn't know that I love chocolate. I didn't eat the chocolate too. I said, chocolate, hey, thank you very much. So your uncle gave you the chocolate? Hey, yeah. So he went to the UK. He said, no, somebody came to me. Hey, God will bless that person, Sha. No problem. So this is me just watching all the drama unfolding like, So this person can act like this. I've married an actor. We put the chocolate in the fridge. That chocolate was there for months. And then she also gave him a tie that she brought from the UK. I didn't say anything. He said, oh, my uncle gave me this tie. I said, hey, yeah, that your uncle is so nice. so months after, he had this, he was going for this meeting. And then he chose that tie. I said, are you mad? I've been fasting and praying for you to go to be able to do well. This meeting you're going to be hoping for the best there, and then you pick of all the ties that you have, is this one that Rose gave you? That's the one you want to wear. If you see the
fasting for him now. You
should have seen the shock on his face that, oh my God, Remy, so you know. I said, you must really think I'm a mumu. I said, no, well, I said that was the last time he wore that time. He treated me.
But that doesn't take away the dog that he gave Remy, Rose. They bend your back, touch your toes. The dog, dog.
Before Uncle, even the boxers that me still wash them.
Oh yeah, Samaria put mouth. Oh, Samaria put mouth.
Keep quiet. Someone like me, I can keep quiet and watch you.
Me too, I can keep quiet and watch you.
Continue. And the bad thing is, if a woman, I don't know about others, but me.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
You say you can keep quiet and be watching. So you know that he's sleeping with your other woman. You
no. My countenance will change. If the person is smart enough, the person will know that something is wrong.
Okay.
But I can be that kind of a woman that even though I found out something about you, I would still go into that kitchen, cook food for you, bring it up for you to eat. Mm-hmm. I will still act normal, like everything is fine.
Me too.
What about you?
But you know, I mean, it won't stop me from not doing stuff like this. Right?
But you know what I'll do, right?
But the inner room will not go work. And even sometimes, I feel use best do the inner room. They thought about it. They thought of it like, so this is what you're doing, really.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. No show in the inner room, or no show.
One thing was
there'll be no show.
For we, you see our gender. I don't know, like I rightly said, like I was saying, I don't know about everyone else, but before I ask you anything that has to do with cheating, I have my facts. I'm not just exaggerating.
Me too.
I am too sure of whatever it is I'm bringing up. It's not about the tantrums, the regular tantrums will throw. Like trying to tell you come to call your girlfriend. But the men want. We know. And I used to do something like Oh, why am I even giving out my scope on social
Just
media?
give us the update.
Some people have time to start looking through messages. I don't. What
Me
I do
too.
is
I don't have
check
time.
call log. When I check your call log, I take my phone and take a picture of it and keep it. It may take me less than 30 seconds to do. At the next day, I come again, open the call log, boom, take a picture again.
The difference.
Later, I'll take my time and screen the numbers that I get called. But those are the I don't save numbers of the people they call. I check. If I see you call somebody repeatedly each day, then I will pay attention. I'll now focus there and see what's going on there. And then I don't need to even start reading messages. I just pick up your phone, I type the word love, kiss, whatever. I just type one word.
I go to
everywhere there is love will just pop up. Everywhere there is good night will pop up. Everywhere there is kiss will pop up. I mean, I do it so fast, like I don't waste time.
I see me, I don't have time for drama. You know, that's like who is this person? Who, you know, I don't have time for drama. So when I see stuff, I'll just know that the relationship will soon be over. And you know what? I'll probably tell you. We'll sit down and have conversations. I will be warning you. So I'll say, guy, I know you're enjoying yourself, but you see, the love that I have for you is beginning to reduce. One day, yes, I would do that. Instead of telling you, who is this person? I saw that. I would just tell you, come. The love I have for you is starting to reduce, and one day it will diminish. And when I'm done, I am done. I'm just letting you know now how I feel. And all the things you're doing that you're hiding, you think I don't know. I know 100%. I might not say anything, but I do know. I'll tell you. And when I say things like that, you might not see something, you might not say anything for like 1 or 2 months. You know, the person will relax. I mean, will like change and be good. And then after like the third, then the person will start again. And me, you know what? I don't even have to check. It might just be that maybe, you know, I decide to use the person's, my partner's phone to call, or maybe his friend called and he hands the phone over to me, and then a message will pop up. God just has a way of letting me see these things. I don't even have to go and check. Do you get what I mean? So
yeah, even the way the person responds on the phone alone tells you a lot. When you start dealing with your all those one word response, I'm like, yes, but I can come in when you're free.
Continue.
I mean, yeah.
One thing I'll never do is pick up the phone and call my partner side chick and say, "Oh, you sent him this text."
Somebody has done that to me before.
Never.
A girl did that to me. She may have been watching. I don't know if she's a Freeze fan, but she did that. What she didn't even do. What she did was she wrote me with one kind of a fake account on Instagram, and she said, "Oh, that she could see that I had wished a particular person a happy birthday." And having gone through my pictures, she could also see that I have taken a picture in his house. One of my pictures, the background was in his house. And then I told her, how about we do it this way? How about you come with your real account? Let's talk woman to woman. I don't be hiding behind. She said, okay, she will. Then she came with her real account. And then the first thing she did was to compliment me. Oh, you're beautiful, though. I'm like, thank you. And then I took my time to go through the so-called person. After I finished looking at the whole profile and everything, I'm like, okay, cool, so what? Then she started how she's been dating this guy for 20 years. Damn. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need anyone to
date for 20 years.
No, not like 20 years, like for so long.
Right, for that long, yeah.
And she started like, you know, talking about everything. No, we women are quick to talk about what we've done for a man. And it's like that. She started talking about everything she has done for him. So when I finished, I asked her one question. How long do you intend to go about stalking women that you feel your man has got something doing with? That was what I asked her. And then to even get her more uncomfortable, do you think it's just you? There's another one I know you don't do. So I think what we should do, we need to get a meeting. Let's just have a meeting. That would be the best thing. We don't need to just
You don't need to have a meeting. You need to form an association.
That's what I know. That I mean, how long do you intend to do this? You don't know me, but there's someone else I know. You see, that means it's not just you and I. There's 2 of us. It's not you probably probably be the lucky one he's choosing and say, look at you. Is that what you think? Do you know if I have someone else? So I just I'm just saying rubbish to her. And guess what? After I said to her to tell you how foolish she was, she had to take all of them and now went back to go and tell the guy, oh, see, she doesn't even take you serious. She has someone else, blah, 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 blah. You think you're dating her, but she has someone else. But I was just telling her whatsoever that I felt she needed to hear at that time. Oh, even your food, bro. No, now. You want
One day I was in my boyfriend's house. This guy was dating. I was at his place. I went there with my friend. And then later at night, he was also, his friend was also there. So we were four. So at night, after he showed us where we would sleep, I heard noise. It sounded like a lady was making noise, was screaming.